is a start. What is the start here? -10. And the stop is which one here? 0. And step is 1. So -10 plus 1 is -9. And -8, -7, -6, -6 and -5, -4, -3, -2 and -1. So you need to know it, how you want to generate the values. If I'm trying to write here range, again I'm saying range, I'm trying to write here 1 comma 1 comma 11 comma 2. So 1 comma 11 comma 2. Now what is the start here? The start is a 1 and the stop is 11. And what is the step here? 2. Now 1 and 1 plus 2 is a 3. 3 plus 2 is what here? 5. 5 plus 2 is a 7. 7 plus 2 is a 9. So there is a 1 and 1 plus 2 is a 3. 3 plus 2 is a 5. 5 plus 2 is a 7. And 7 plus 2 is what here? 9. Okay. So it will generate from 1 to 9 because here we are incrementing with what? 2. We are incrementing with 2. Step is nothing but increment or decrement value. The difference between the values within the range. Difference between the values within the range. Okay. So range function, if you see this range function, return range object. Okay, range function returns range object. Okay, range function. So this range function returns range object. Range function returns range object. Okay, to read values, generated by range object, we need to use, okay, we need to use what? Iterators. Iterators like which one? We need to use iterators like which one here? For loop. Okay, range function returns which object here? Range object. And if you want to read values generated by range object, we need to use what? Iterators. And what is that iterator we have to use? For loop. Now using this for loop, we can iterate or read values generated by which object? Range object. Using this iterator, you can able to read values generated by which object? Range object. Okay, values generated by range object. So what is this exactly? Now see here, if I'm writing R1 equal to range of 10. Now what is 10 here? Stop. So what is the start here? 0 and stop is a 10 and step is 1. So if I say print R1, will it print values from 0 to 9? No. So range function return which object? Range object, that's all. It means this range object is able to generate values from 0 to 10. So 0 is the start and 10 is what here? Stop. But how can I read the values generated by the range? So for that, I have to use which loop here? For loop. For variable in. So what is my variable name is A. For A in, what is that? R1. I said for A, what is A here? Variable name. For A is nothing but what here? Variable name. And R1 is which object? Range object. And this range object is able to generate values from 0 to 10. But whereas 10 is not included. So what is the first value in the range? 0. What is the first value in the range? 0. Now this will generate all the values from 0 to 9. So every time it will iterate. Every time it will iterate the value generated by which one? R1. What is the first value generated by R1? 0. And that 0 is assigned to which variable? A. And what is the value of A here? 0. What is the next value generated by the range? 1. And 1 is assigned to what? A. And what is the value of A? 1. What is the next value generated by the range? 2. And that 2 is assigned to what? A. Now that is 2 and then 3 is assigned to A and 3. So generate the 4. 4 is assigned to A. And what is the value? 4. And there is a 5. 5 is assigned to A. And what is the value here? 5. The next value generated is 6 and the value is a 6. And next value generated is 7 and what is the value? 7. And then 8 and one more value is a 9. By just writing range, the values will not be generated. If you want to read the values generated by range, I have to take the help of which one? For loop. I have to take the help of for loop, and this for loop iterate this for loop iterate each value generated by which object? Range object. This for loop iterate or read values generated by which object here? Range object. So that will generate values from 0 to 9. 0 to 9. That will generate values from 0 to 9. Now suppose, assume that okay, assume that now write a program, very simple example, print a mathematical table of input number. We did this by using which loop? While loop. Now, but now we are doing it using which loop? For loop. We did this using while loop. Now we are doing it using which loop? For loop. Okay. So write a program to print a math table of input number. So first you have to input one number, integer of. So input enter any number. Okay, what I'm saying number equal to integer of input enter any number. So the value what I read, I stored in number. Now this number should be multiplied how many times? 10 times. Okay, this number should be multiplied how many times? 10 times. Then I'm using here one multiplier which is called as I. Okay, what is the name of the variable? I. In I can create a range directly here itself. Okay, range 1 comma 11. So 1 comma 11 means this range will generate how many values? 10 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This range generate how many values? 10 values. Okay, now this range will generate 10 values. So after that, I'm trying to display the number. Okay, I'm trying to display the number and multiply symbol. And I try to display the value of I and equal to symbol. And I try to display the number into I. I try to display the number into I. Okay, so every time I'm reading one value. So every time I'm reading one value and multiplying it. Now enter any number. Some number is 4 and 4 is multiplied how many times? 10 times, right? So this for loop. Now if you take this for loop, for I in range 1 comma 11. So what is a 1 here? Start. 1 is a start. The value of start is 1 and the value of stop is what here? 11. Then what is the increment value here? Step value is nothing but plus 1. So what is the first value generated? 1. What is the value of I here? 1. So print number. What is the number? 4. X symbol 1 equal to 4 into 1 is what? 4. What is the next value generated by range? 2. So what is the value of I? 2. Then 4 and multiply symbol 2 equal to what here? 8. Then what is the next value in the range? 3 and 4 and multiply symbol and 3 equal to what here? 12. So what is the next value in the range? 4. Okay, number. What is the number? 4 into 4 and what is the value generates? 16. What is the next value generated by range? 5 and that is 4 into 5 equal to what here? 20. So it will do this until what here? 4 into 10 equal to what is that? 40. Means you are reading one number and multiplying how many times? 10 times. But how you read a range of 10 values by using which one here? Range type. You are reading it by using which type? Range type. So range is a type, data type, or it is a sequence, and that sequence will generate. Yes. Now here the values are like this. Okay, and these are the values. This is an example here. Now this is printing the table from 4 to 10, right? Okay, now this is an example here. Next is, for example, write a program, a basic example, write a program to find, so factorial of input, write a program to find a factorial of input number. I try to input the number, I want to find, I will try to input the number, I want to find the factorial of that number. I'll try to input the number and I want to find the factorial of that number. So how can I find the factorial of that number? So write a program to find factorial of input number. So first what you have to do, you have to input the number. So number equal to integer of input. Enter any number. Okay. So number equal to integer of input, enter any number. Suppose factorial for 4. So 4 factorial is, so 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. Now what is the product of this here? 24. Now 4 factorial is what? 24. Suppose input number is 5. Okay, 1 into 2 into, okay, 3 into 4 into 5. So 5 factorial is what here? 120. Okay. So this is how you are trying to find the factorial. Suppose number is 0 and 0 factorial is what? 1. Okay, 0 factorial is 1. What is the 0 factorial here? 1, right? Suppose if number is 0, the value of factorial is what? 1. So because of that, I've taken the value of factorial as what here? 1. So I try to input the number and the value of factorial is what here? 1. So again, I'm saying for, okay, for some n in for n in range of 1 comma number plus 1. Okay, I said for n in range of 1 comma number plus 1. Suppose my number is 4. Suppose my number is what? 4. Then what is the range now? This range should generate range of 1 comma number plus 1 means 5. So what is the start here? What is the start value? 1. And what is the stop value? 5. What is the step value? 1. So this will generate how many values? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is the first value in the range? 1. So I'm saying factorial equals to factorial into what? N. Factorial equals to factorial into n. So what is the first value in the range? 1. So what is the value of n here? 1. And 1 into 1 is a 1. So the value of fact is 1. So what is the next value here? 2. And 1 into 2 is what? 2. What is the next value in the range? 3. And 2 into 3 is what here? 6. What is the next value in the range? 4. And 6 into 4 is what? 24. Is it reading of all the values are done or not? Yes. So once it iterate or read all the values from the range, it will stop. Once it read all the values, then what will happen? It will stop. Then I'm saying print. Print, what is this here? Factorial of number is, factorial of number is, what is this? Factorial. Factorial of number is, I just print factorial. So enter any number. So the number is 4 and 4 factorial is what? 24. Factorial of 4 is what? 24. Enter any number. Number is 5 and factorial of 5 is, what is the value of this? 120. I try to input the number 0 and 0 factorial is what? 1. If I enter 0, for example, I said for n in range of 1 comma 1. If the value of number is 0, now 1 comma 1. 1 comma 1 will execute how many times? 1 time. So 1 into 1 becomes what? 1, right? So every time it will read one value and multiply with what here? 1. Read one value and multiply with the 2, right? So that you can call it as factorial of input number. That you can call it as factorial of input number. So using range, you can generate a range of values. Using range, you can generate sequence of values. Using range, you can generate integer range. But range will generate only integer range. So here, the start, stop, step must be integer. The start, stop, step must be what? Integer. I cannot generate range of float. I cannot generate range of which one? Float. I cannot generate range of float. Means if I'm writing like this, for example, if you are trying to generate the range of float, so range will take only inputs of integer type. For example, range, the start value is 1.0, stop value is some 11.0. Start value is 1.0 and stop value is 11.0. And if I press enter, it is given which error? Type error. So float object cannot be interpreted as what? Integer. So range allows which type of inputs here? Only integers. Range allows which type of inputs here? Only integer. So range doesn't allows which type of inputs? Floats. No. So it means I can generate the values of which type? Integer type. And here the stop value should not be 0. Step value should not be 0. I'm saying 1 comma 11 comma 0. What is 1 here? Start. What is 11 here? Stop. So you have to define either increment or what? Decrement. If I'm writing 0, now this will generate what? Error. Value error and range argument 3. This is the first argument, this is second argument, and this is third argument. Must not be 0. Third argument should not be 0, right? Third argument should not be 0. So range generate only range of float values. Range step value should not be what? 0. And if I'm giving a start and stop as the same, I said range of r equal to range of 1 comma 1. And if I'm saying for a in r, and if I say print a, so how many times this loop is executed? Is it executed or not executed? Not executed. Is it executed or not executed? Not executed. Why? Because yesterday I said always if the step is positive, if the step is what? Positive. What is the step? Suppose what is the start here? The value of start is a 1. The start value is 1 and the stop value is also what here? 1. And what is the step value? 1. If the step is positive, the start must be less than stop. So here 1 is less than 1. 1 is less than 1 or equal to 1? Equal to 1. So will it generate any values here? No. So in that case, is it this for loop is executed or not executed? Not executed. This for loop is executed or not executed? Not executed because it will generate the values until start is less than stop. If the step is 1, right, it will generate values until start is less than stop, less than stop. It will generate values until start is less than stop if the step is positive. So is it 1 is less than 1? No. So it will not generate. Suppose if the step is negative, suppose if I'm writing r equal to range, if I'm writing minus 1 comma, suppose if I'm writing minus 1 comma, suppose if I'm writing like this 10 comma 10 comma minus 1, 10 comma 10 comma minus 1, if the step is negative, the start must be greater than stop. Start is greater than what? Stop. Means it will generate values. It will generate values. It will generate values when if the start is greater than stop. If the start is greater than stop. Okay, what is the start here? 10. The value of start is a 10 and the value of stop is what here? 10. But what is the value of step? Minus 1. So it will generate values only if the start is greater than stop. When if the step is what? Negative. Is it 10 is greater than 10? No. Will it generate any values here? No. If I'm saying for A in R, and if I'm trying to print the value of A, so is it generated any values? No. Getting on. So it should be less than, it will generate values if start is less than stop. If the step is negative, positive, it will generate values if the start is greater than stop. If the step is what? Negative. Okay. Yes, because this is increment value and this is what? Decrement value. So these rules you have to follow it at the time of generating. These rules you have to follow it at the time of writing the range. These rules should be followed at the time of writing the range. At the time of writing the range, you have to follow these rules and regulations. Okay, this is generated errors. So I want to write a program to generate range of which numbers? Even numbers. I want to generate even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I want to generate up to n. I want to generate range of even numbers. Okay. So you are generating from 2 to what? N. So first input n value, integer of enter n value, integer of enter n value for, okay, for number in, for number in range of 2 comma n plus 1, for 2 comma n plus 1 comma, what is that here? 2. So 2 comma n plus 1 comma 2. For example, I want to generate even numbers from 2 to 11. So what is the value of n here? 11. What is the 2 here? Start value. What is the 2 here? Start value. And 11 plus 1 is what? 12. So why? Because I want to include stop. I want to include which value? Stop value. Suppose if I don't write n plus 1, it will generate from 2 to, if the stop is 11, it will generate from 2 to 10. It will generate from 2 to 10, but is it 11 is included or not included? Not included. Okay. So I want to include 11 also. Because of that, I added plus 1. And what is the step value here? 2. What is the step value here? 2. So 2 and 11 and 2. So it will generate all the even numbers from 2 to what? 11. So here it will take. Now 2 plus 2 is what? 4. So 4 is less than 11 or not? Yes. And 4 plus 2 is a 6. Is a 6 is less than 11 or not? Yes. 6 plus 2 is a 8. 8 is less than 11 or not? Yes. And 8 plus 2 is a 10. 10 is less than 11 or not? Yes. And 10 plus 2 is a 12. 12 is less than 11? No. It will stop. Means it will generate how many even numbers? 5. So that is a 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So it will generate until start is less than, it will generate until start is less than what? Stop. It will generate until start is less than stop. So there is a number and I want to print these values in the same line. Okay. I want to print in the same line. So I just write like this. Enter n value. I want to generate from 2 to 11. Now you can see. So I want to generate from 2 to 11. You can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I want to generate from 2 to 20. Okay. You can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. Okay. Because I want to include stop value. If the stop value is, if the stop, I want to include the stop value also. I want to include stop value also. Right. In that case, I read n plus 1. Otherwise, it doesn't include which value? Stop value. So I want to generate, I want to generate, okay, I want to generate, write a program, write a program to generate, okay, to generate sum of the following series. Now this is in mathematics, you use some symbols to find the sum of what here? Series. What is the symbol used in mathematics for sum here? Summation symbol is sigma or not? Yes. So I want to print the sum of series where the value of I is 1, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus. Okay. So I want to print 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus. Now I want to generate up to what here? 9. I want to generate up to what here? n. So where the value of number is what? 1, and the value of n is, suppose assume that 10, then you should print the sum of 10 numbers. You should print the sum of 1 to n. Means 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus. Okay. So what do you have to do here? Read the value of n. So enter the value of n. So n is a stop value for, I have to take the sum. What is the value of sum here? 0. For number in range of 1 comma n plus 1. Because I want to include n value also. Then sum equal to sum equal to sum plus number. Then I try to print the sum is, okay, I'm trying to print sum is, and this is which value? Sum value. I just write sum is and printed which value? Sum value. So assume that I enter the value of n is 5. Enter the value of n is 5. Then what is the start here? What is the start here? 1. What is the stop here? What is the start here? 1. And what is the stop here? 6. Are you given any step here? No. Then what is the default step? 1. So it will generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is the first? The value of number is what here? 1. And 0 plus 1 is what? 1. What is the next value in the range? 2. And 1 plus 2 is a 3. And what is the next value in the range? 3. And 3 plus 3 is a 6. And what is the next value in the range? 4. And 6 plus 4 is a 10. And what is the next value in the range? 5. And 10 plus 5 is a 15. 10 plus 5 is a 15. If you run this, the value of n is 5 and sum is what here? 15. The value of sum is a 15. Okay. Series, sum of series, product of series. Okay, product. This is sum. The way how you are doing sum, in the same way you can do the product or not. Yes. So this is the output of this code. Now enter the 5. It generates the sum of all the values from 1 to, it will generate all the values from 1 to 5. Suppose write a program again. Write a program to generate the sum of following series. The series is, I want to print the sum of squares. Sum of squares. Now 1 to the power of 2 plus 2 to the power of 2 plus, okay, 3 to the power of 2 plus, okay. So I want to print power of 4 to the power of which one? 2 plus, 5 to the power of 2 plus, okay. Then I want to print up to what here? N to the power of 2. So I want to print the sum of squares. I want to print the sum of squares. That is 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square plus up to what here? N square. Same, but in the place of 1, sum equal to sum plus n, you have to say sum equal to sum plus n square. Instead of saying sum equal to sum plus n, you have to say sum equal to sum plus n square. N square. Input the value of n. Integer of enter the value of what here? N. And sum equal to 0. And for number in a range of 1 comma n plus 1. And are you doing sum equal to sum plus number? No. Sum equal to sum plus what? Num to the power of 2. Sum equal to sum plus num to the power of 2. So what is the value of start? Suppose, assume that the value of n is a 3. So what is the start here? 1. So start is a 1. And what is the stop here? N plus 1, which is nothing but 4. And what is the step here? The value of step is a 1. So it starts at 1. What is the first value? 1. And 1 plus 1 is what? 2. And 2 plus 1 is what? 3. Is it 3 is less than 4? Yes. But 3 plus 1 is a 4. Is it 4 is less than 4? No. So how many values is generated? 3 values. That is 1, 2 and 3. What is the first value in the range? 1. 0 plus 1 to the power of 2. So 0 plus 1 is what? 1. And second value in the range is a 2. And 1 plus 2 to the power of 2, which is nothing but 5. And next value is a 3. Okay. And 5 plus 9. 3 to the power of 2 means what? 9. What is the value? 14. Okay. But previously we added only number, but you are adding which one? Num to the power of 2. Sum of squares. Sum of squares, right? Sum of squares. Now you can generate, I mean, you can solve certain things like sine series, cos series. Okay. All this you can do it. Now enter the value of n. So the value of n is a 3, but we have not printed result, right? So print format sum is. So sum is S. Now enter 3. And what is the sum here? 14, right? Sum of squares of, yes, sum of squares. Sum of which one here? Squares. Okay. Sum of squares. So range is one of the important data type which you can use for generating a range of values or sequence of values. Okay, range is one important data type and you are using this for generating range of values or sequence of values. Range is one important data type which is used for generating range of values or sequence of values. Okay, right? Suppose it's like that. You can write number of examples. Okay, you can do so many examples. So write a program to find input number is which one? Prime or not? Prime number or not? I want to find an input number is prime number or not. Input number is prime number or not. So you have to input the number integer of input enter any number integer of input enter any number enter any number enter any number. So prime number means the number which is divisible with one and itself, means having how many factors here? Two factors. That you can call it as which number? Prime number. So I've taken the count as what here? 0. Suppose if number is 5, if the number is 5, then 5 mod 1, and then you'll say 5 mod 2, then you'll say 5 mod what? 3. Okay, 5 mod 1, 5 mod 2. Okay, then 5 mod 3 and 5 mod 4 and then 5 mod 5. Okay, so you are dividing a number from 1 to what? Number. So 5 mod 1, is it 5 is divisible with 1? Yes. So count is 1. Is it 5 is divisible with 2? No. Is it 5 is divisible with 3? No. Is it 5 is divisible with 4? No. But is it 5 is divisible with 5? Yes. So how many factors are there here? Two factors. If it is having two factors, then I can say that number is which number? Prime number. Okay. So you have to find out how many times it is divisible, right? So for I in, so I is a variable and it's a denominator. So range 1 comma number plus 1 comma number plus 1. I said for I in range 1 comma number plus 1. Suppose my number is 4. Number is what? 4. Then what is the start here? 1. What is the start here? 1. And what is the stop here? Number plus 1. So number plus 1 means 5. Now start is a 1 and stop is a number plus 1. And what is the value of step here? 1. So how many values it will generate? 1. 1 plus 1 is what? 2. And 2 plus 1 is a 3. 3 plus 1 is a 4. Then what is the first value of I? 1. Then here you write. What you write here if what is my condition? What is the condition? Number mod I. If number mod I equal to which one? 0. If number mod I equal to 0, I'm saying count equal to count plus 1. Count is equal to count plus 1. What is the number? 4. 4 mod 1. 4 mod 1 is 0. Yes. What is the value of count now? 1. What is the next number here? 2. Is it 4 mod 2 equal to 0? Sorry. Next number is what? 2, right? Sorry. 4 mod 2 equal to 0? Yes. Count becomes what here? 2. What is the next number here? 3. And is it 3? 4 mod 3 equal to 0? No. Next number is what here? 4. And is it 4 mod 4 equal to 0? Yes. It means 4 is divisible how many times here? 3 times. So what is the value of count? 3. Then is it prime or not a prime? Not a prime. So you are dividing it. Yes, you can do half of the number also. Number mod 2. Yes, number divided by 2, you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. So many logics are there for prime number. Okay, so many logics are there. This is one of the worst logic because it will take a lot of time. Okay, because suppose my number is 99. If my number is 99, all the way it will divide from 1 to 99. If the number is 9999, it will divide from 1 to what? 9999. How many times loop is executed? 9999 times. Is it that will slow down the process or not? Yes. Now it is not an efficient logic. Efficient logic means you have to divide up to half of the number. Half of the number means divided by 2. Divided by 2. This is one more logic. This is one more logic. Plenty of logics are there for finding number is a prime or not. So we have not printed result here. So what we have to do if count equal to 2, so print format number is which one? Prime. Print format number is prime. Otherwise print format number is not a prime number. So when you are saying the number is a prime number, if the value of count is a 2, means how many times the number should be divisible? 2 times. If the count is divided with 2, okay, you are saying this number is prime. Otherwise, you are saying this number is not a prime number. You are saying is a prime number. Otherwise, you're saying this number is not a prime number, right? It's a prime number. Otherwise, you're saying it is not a prime number, right? Okay, that is if the value of count is a 2, you're saying this number is a prime. If the value of count is not a 2, you're saying the number is not a prime, right? So I try to execute it. The number is 5 is a prime number. The number is 9 is not a prime number, right? Because 9 is divisible with 1, 3 as well as, yes, more than 1, right? So you can say it is not a prime. So you have to understand how to generate the range. How to generate the range. So range is for generating the sequence of numbers. Sequence of integer numbers. Range is for generating sequence of integer numbers. So range is for generating sequence of integers numbers, but you cannot generate any other float sequence or any other sequence. Okay. You cannot generate float sequence or any other sequence, right? Suppose I want to write a range. Now you tell me, I want to write a range that should generate alphabets from A to Z. I want to I want to generate alphabets from A to Z using range. Suppose write a program to generate alphabets to generate alphabets. Okay, range of alphabets that is A, B, C, like this. Okay, so up to what here? Z and A, B, C. So up to what here? Z. I want to generate alphabets from A to Z. Okay, so uppercase letters as well as what? Lowercase letters. I want to generate uppercase letters as well as what? Lowercase letters. Uppercase starts from where? Uppercase letter starts from where? Uppercase letter starts from where? 65. So for n in range of 65 comma 65 comma which one? 92. Okay, 92. Then print character of n. Are you printing n or character of n? Character of n. So this will generate alphabets 97. So this will generate alphabets. This will generate alphabets. Which alphabets? Uppercase 90, 91, right? 90, 65 to 90. So I have to say 91 here. You can see alphabets from A to Z. Now, if I want lowercase letters, I'm trying to say for n in range of 97, comma 122. So print character of n. So here I write one print statement because inserting one new line. So END means I want to print in the same line. You can see why 122 should be included, right? So this should be 123. Now this is uppercase letters and these are what? Lowercase letters. This is uppercase and this is what here? Lowercase. If you want to print both ASCII value and character value, you want to print both ASCII value as well as character value, then use format. Format n equal to character of n. Format n equal to character of n. Character of n. Oh, n equal to character of n. N. This n is which value? Integer value. And this is which value? Character value. You can see 65 is what? ASCII value of character is what? A. 66 is ASCII value of character is what? B. So here I'm trying to print how many values? Two values. First one is n value and second one is character of n value. In the same way, I can print n value and character of. I'm printing n value and character of which value? N value. So 97 is ASCII value and this ASCII value of character is what? A. 98 is ASCII value and ASCII value of this character is what? B. So we are trying to print one value or two values? Two values. One is n and second one is character of n. One is n and second one is character of n. See, all these examples are to understand range. Why I've taken this example is to understand range, how you are working with the range. So using range, I can generate only the sequence of integers. Using range, I can generate only the sequence of integers. Using range, I can generate only the sequence of integers, but I cannot generate any other type of values. Any other type of values, I cannot generate it. I can generate only integers range. For example, yes, you can generate so many things you can do it, right? Write a program again. Okay, now. So write a program. Write a program to print. Okay, to print the sum of n numbers. Write a program to print the sum of n numbers. I want to print sum of n numbers. No, you cannot use infinite loop. There's no infinite. Only while loop can be used as infinite loop. Okay, only while loop can be used as infinite, but not for loop. Only while loop can be used as infinite, but not for loop. Only while loop can be used as infinite, but not for loop. So write a program to print the sum of how many numbers here? N numbers. So first you read the value of n because I want to find the sum of n numbers. Enter the value of n. Enter the value of n. Now you can do this kind of programs in, but actually Code Chef is there, right? In Code Chef, so there is a practice problems. So basic programming. Okay, basic programming is there. I think we have done this ATM, right? The cheaper cab. Now you can see chef has to travel to another place. For this, he can avail any one of two cab services. The first cab service charges X rupees and the second cab service charges what? Y rupees. Now chef wants to spend the minimum amount of money which cab service could be should chef take. Input format, that is nothing but X is less than Y, then X is a cheaper. Okay, otherwise which one is a cheaper? Y. Okay, you can do this kind of problems. Okay, if you have to do this kind of problems here. So the first line contains a t. T is nothing but number of test cases. You have to read this how many times here? T times. How many times you have to test here? T times. T means if I input the value of t is a 3, you have to check this how many times? 3 times. So then the test case follows. The first and only line, each test case contain two integers, that is x and y, the price of the first and second cab services respectively. For each test case, output first if the first cab service is cheaper, output second if the second cab service is what? Cheaper. Output any if both the cab services have the same price. Output any if the both cab services have what? Same price. You have to print each character of first second of any, in which case uppercase or lowercase. Okay, uppercase or what? Lowercase. Just here, 3 means you have to input this value how many times? 3 times. Now 3 means you have to input. Now first service, first cab charges how much? 30, and second cab charges how much? 65. Which one is cheaper here? First. And 40 to 42, both are same or not? Yes. Then you have to put what? Any. And 90 and 50, in this which one is cheaper? 50. So you have to print it as what? Second. So what you have to do is select the editor. Select the editor. What you have to do? First you have to input the test case. T equal to integer of input. How many test cases? So T is nothing but what? Number of test cases. And then for in, you have to repeat this loop how many times? T times. And you are trying to read how many values? 2 values. Cab 1 and cab 2. Cab 1 charges and cab 2 charges. And then I'm saying map. Map integer comma input dot. What is this here? Split. Okay, then you are writing if cab 1 is less than cab 2, what is saying here? First. Okay, you have to say first. You have to say first here. Else, else, else if, else if cab 1 is greater than cab 2, then you are trying to print. What you are trying to print here? Second. What you are trying to print? Second. Else if, or else you are saying print. Print what is that? Any. Print any. Okay, but how many times is repeated here? T times. Because you are testing it how many times here? T times. Okay, the first test case 1, the first cab service is cheaper than second cab service. Test case 2, second time. Both the cab services have the same price. Test case 3, the second cab service is cheaper than which one? First cab service. Okay, now this is the input, and then you have to run the code. Yes. Now you can just run the code here. Now successfully what here? Executed. So first any and one more is what? Second. And you can submit the code. For this you have to log in first. If you want to submit the code, you have to log in. So I don't know whether you are doing this kind of problems or not. This is cabs. Volume control. Second problem. Volume control. Code chef. So chef is watching TV. Chef is watching what here? TV. The current volume of the TV is X. Now pressing the volume up button, pressing the volume up button of the TV remote increase the volume by 1, while pressing the volume down button decrease the volume by 1. Now chef wants to change the volume from X to Y. Find the minimum number of buttons pressed required to do so, right? So chef wants to change the volume from X to Y. Find the minimum number of buttons presses required to do so, right? So what is the meaning of this is, see, the first line contains a single integer t. T is nothing but number of test cases. The first and only line of each test case contains two integers, that is x and y, the initial volume and final volume of the TV. For each test case output, the minimum number of times chef has to press a button to change the volume from x to what, y. Minimum number of times, see here, minimum number of times chef has to press a button to change the volume from x to what, y. Now if you see 2 is there. So what is the minimum here? 5. And what is the maximum here? 54. So how many times you should press? 4 times. Okay, how many times? What is this? How many times you should press? 4 times. 4 times, right? 4 times. Then 12 and 1, how many times you should press to decrease? To decrease, how many times you should press? 2 times. See, when you press increment by 1, decrement by 1. Increment by 1 and decrement by 1. So how many times you have to test this? T times. Now very simple. What do you have to do? What you have to do first, you should read which one? Test cases. Integer of input, number of test cases. Then next you have to read x value and y value. Integer of, map of integer. Okay, you have to practice. Later you should not say, sir is not said that code chef. If you don't practice it, then yes, you have to practice. Understand the problem definition. Understand the problem definition, right? Understand the problem definition and you have to do it. So if what is the condition? If x is what? Greater than y. If x is greater than y, okay. Then I'm saying here count. Count start from where? 0. So for what? For what? For n in range of x comma y plus 1, and you increment the count or not? Yes, count equal to count plus 1, and then you print count equal to count plus 1, right? What is it? 1 only, right? So print, what do you have to print here? Count. This is when if x is greater than y. Else if x is less than, if x is less than, what is this? Y. X is less than y. Is it correct? No. I have to say what? X comma y plus 1 comma x comma y. X is less than y. This is it x is less than y or not? Yes. This is x is greater than y. X is less than y. Means if I enter 50, 50 is a x value and 54 is which value? Y value. So how many times this for loop is executed? 4 times. Then what is the count? 4. How many times he pressed to increase the volume? 4 times. How many times he pressed the increment volume? 4 times. Okay. So x is greater than y. If x is greater than y, x is greater than y means 12 is greater than 10 or not? Yes. Then how many times you decrement? 2 times. Okay. So I'm trying to say for. So again I take the value of count is a 0. Again I take the value of count is a 0, and for n in range of Range of what? X comma what? Y? Y plus 1? X comma Y plus 1 or Y minus 1? Y minus 1 comma minus 1. So because this value should be decremented or not? Yes. Value should be what here? Decremented, right? Yes. Y plus 1 or minus 1, this is y plus 1 or minus 1. X comma y plus 1 or minus 1. So 12 comma 11. Okay, yes. Y minus 1. And here I have to say count plus equal to 1. So the value of count is incremented by 1 and print which value? C value. So this is how you need to write the logic. So this is the input and we'll see is it run properly or not. If any errors are there, successfully executed. Okay, successfully executed. Now you can see the output. If I enter to 50 and 54, how many times you have to press to increase the volume? How many times you have to press to increase the volume? 4 times. And here you have to increment how many times? 2 times. Right? Okay. So it showed somewhere output, right? Okay. You have to do like this. You are not practicing. Basic programming. ATM we did already. Manipulate. ASIO and guards. Actually, I should not do all this. You have to do all this. Okay, you have to do all this. I should not do all this. You have to do it. So ASIO can manipulate at most X number of guards with the apple of Eden, right? Given that there are 5 numbers of gods, predict if he can safely manipulate all of them, right? So first line will contain T. T is nothing but number of test cases, and each test case contains a single line of input, 2 integers X and what? Y. For each test case, print yes if it is possible for ASIO to manipulate all the gods. Otherwise, print what here? No. So you can print each character of string in uppercase or lowercase. That is depends on you, right? So what is this here? Yeah. So you are trying to input how many values here? 2 values. You are trying to input how many values here? 2 values. Okay. Yes. Very simple here. So ASIO can manipulate at most X number of gods with the apple of Eden. Okay. So given that there are Y number of gods, predict if we can safely manipulate all of them. Simple. Okay, 5 7 saying what here? No. And 6 6 is saying what here? Yes. And 9 1 is also saying which one? Yes. So this is an explanation. As you can manipulate at most 5 gods, since there are 7 gods, he cannot manipulate all of them. Okay. So each can manipulate at most 6 guards. So since there are 6 guards, he can manipulate all of them, right? So ASIO can manipulate most of 9 guards. Since there is only what? 1 guard. So he can manipulate which one? Guard. So less than, greater than, equal. Less than, greater than, and what? Equal. I don't know whether if you do it is good. Otherwise, no problem. Okay. Yes. So write a program to print sum of how many numbers here? N numbers. You can do all these problems. How many problems are there here? This is page 1. How many pages are there? Page 1. Each page contain how many problems? 20. How many pages are there in each page? 20. Now 20 into 20 pages. I mean, how many pages? 17 and pages are there. Means how many programs are there? More than 1500 programs are there. That is only basic programming. But you find the programs in arrays, you find the programs in strings, mathematics, sorting, binary search, data structures and algorithms, dynamic programming, graphs, and what is that? Trees. All these are related with data structures. Okay. So write a program to print sum of how many numbers here? N numbers. So these are basic examples for, I'm not writing like a story kind of thing, but we are directly writing a program, directly problem definition. We are not writing that chef is this, chef is that, like that. No, directly we are writing a print sum of N numbers. So I need to read how many numbers here? N numbers. So for I in range of N, for I in range of N means this loop is executed how many times? How many times? N times. Because N is a stop value. N is which value here? Stop value. Then what is the start? 0. Start is 0 and stop is N. Input the number. Integer of input. Integer of input. Integer of input, enter any number. Integer of input, enter any number. Then this number should be added to what? Sum. Sum plus equal to number. That's it. So whatever numbers you enter, those numbers you are trying to display which one? Sum. Okay, whatever numbers you input. Suppose I want to input some two numbers and first number is 10, second number is 20. 10 plus 20 is what? 30. Then I try to input some four numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sum is what? 10. So it means this loop is get executed how many times here? N times. This loop is get executed how many times here? N times. You have to understand this, right? You have to understand how this for loop is. Now we are using only one looping statement, but sometimes you may use number of looping statements. A for loop inside a for loop. You write a while loop inside what? While loop. And that kind of thing you call it as what? Nested looping statements. But tomorrow I'll tell you how to work with the nested looping statements like nested while. Okay, nested while and nested for. Right? So today we'll stop it here and tomorrow we'll continue. Right? Thank you. పిక్చర్ ఆడడం లేదా చూస్తాను చూసి పంపిస్తాను అదే ఫ్లో చార్టా